Welcome to day 25 of the 30-day chair yoga challenge. You just have 5 more days to go. Great job. Today we're going to be working on strength. So for today's practice, you'll need 2 dumbbells, 1 pound or 2 pounds. You won't want to go much higher than that. If you don't have weights, there's a couple other options. You can use cans. You could use a couple of mugs that have a handle on them. You might use water bottles. So a couple different options there. If you want to take a minute and go grab some weights of some sort. To start out, we're going to get into postural alignment by moving into mountain pose. So if you've been here the last couple days, you'll know that we'll start by looking at our feet, making sure they're pointed forward, making sure knees are stacked over ankles, shoulders are stacked over hips. We roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the neck and spine, tuck the rib cage in. Begin to focus on the breathing. You can have your eyes opened or closed here as we begin. Sit up nice and tall, rooting down through the feet, lifting up through the shoulders and through the spine. You'll be holding your weights just on your lap. We'll start to bring some movement into the neck, shaking the head no, nodding the head yes. You might start to do small circles with the neck in one direction and then the opposite direction. We're just going to do a really quick warm-up today so that we don't hurt anything. So holding your weights, drop your arms down by either side. We're just going to swing them slightly back and forth. You might bring both weights to one side and go into a deeper twist on that side. It might just be up on your leg, twisting to the other side. Great job. Stand up for a minute, stretch. This can just be your body arching the spine, or you can bring your hands into it, getting a deep stretch through the back. If the arms don't come all the way up, that's fine. Bring the arms back down, sit down. Stretch the feet out in front of you. You might need to move forward on the chair to do this. We're just moving really quickly through this warm-up. Flexing the feet up. Tuck one knee up and in and back down. Tuck the other knee up and in and back down. Step the feet back in, scoop back on your chair. Great job. We're going really quickly. Let's slow it down just a little bit. Let's step the feet out to either side, just as far as you go until you start to feel a stretch. Bring one shoulder down towards the ground. You might look out towards the wall, or you might look down towards the ground. Come back up. Switch sides. For this warm-up, it really doesn't matter which side you start on. We're just starting to warm the body up. If you want, you can take the weights in between, right in front of the chair, and start to drop down. The legs will support you here. So we'll engage through the legs as we drop the hands down a little bit, hinging at the hips, and come back up. Bring the hands forward, straightening the elbows, and come back in. Walk those feet back. Great job. One more warm-up before we get started. We're going to do hip circles. So hinging forward at the hips, over to the right, over to the back, left and forward. Try to have a more fluid movement here, connecting your breath with your movement. You can circle as slowly or as quickly as you'd like. The circles can be small or large. Then come up to center and start to go to the left. So forward, to the left, back to the right. Forward, to the left, back to the right. Connect your breath and your movement. Great job. Come back up to center. sure that your postural alignment is back. Rolling the shoulders back, lengthening through the spine. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. We're going to start today with the arms. So we're going to step the feet a little bit wider apart so that they're maybe pointing out from the edges of the chair. We're going to drop the arms down by the sides, and on the inhale, we'll start to lift the arms up. As high as they go, the stopping point would be where the wrists are even with the shoulders. And then exhale back down. Everything's going to be a slow, fluid motion. You can do this without weights as well, and you'll still get a good workout. Bringing the hands up in front of you. The palms should face in towards each other. You can stop wherever, but the highest point is the point where the wrists are even with the shoulders, and then come back down. We're kind of going out to the sides and back down. Great job. Inhale, the arms come up and out to either side, floating. Hold for a breath. And exhale slowly back down. We'll do one more to the front. Inhale, coming up and forward. Hold for a breath and exhale, floating out and down to the sides. Great job. We'll do one more of those. Inhale, out to the side. Hold. The arms, not the breath. And exhale. Again, adapt this to you. Maybe one arm goes higher than the other. Maybe both arms just float down here. That's okay as well. And exhale. Okay, we're going to switch it up just a little. So we're going to bring the arms up. This time we're going to stay and float. So we're going to pulse the arms up and down wherever you come to. Get ready. This is going to be the long haul. You are strong. You can do this. And then we're going to flip the palms up. Continue that pulsing. Remembering to breathe. Take a moment within this practice to make sure that you're still inhaling and exhaling. Start to do doorknobs, so we're rocking the hands forward and back. You're doing great. A couple more of these. Now we're going to do little circles forward with the arms. So you can go slow or fast. Check in on your breath. Are you still breathing here? Great job. And little circles backwards. I know you can do it. Just keep those arms up. If they drop a little, it's okay. Just don't drop them all the way. And then we're going to hold in a T. So really focus on the breath here. Bring the attention to the inhales and the exhales. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now let the arms slowly drop down. Let them relax completely. Let the shoulders relax. Step the feet back in. You might close the eyes here. Take a couple deep breaths. Really focusing on fully expanding the chest and fully deflating the breath. If your eyes are closed, open them here. Start to step the feet back out. We're going to step the feet a little bit wider this time than we had them before. You decide how wide you want them. Place the hands just above the knees. We're going to hinge forward at the hips, and we're going to bring one fist down and then back up, and then the opposite, down and up. We'll do several reps of this. You can keep track of your counts. Let's do 3 breaths, so as many as you can do in 3 breaths. when you've had 3 breaths, we're going to move forward. So crossing over the body. So either hand first, we're going to go across one side and back down. And across the other side and back down. Okay, so doing as many as you can in 3 breaths, going about at shoulder height. Those 3 breaths, we're going to bring the motion up. So if you have any limitations in the shoulders that make it difficult to go above, lift the hand above the shoulder, it's okay, just go forward again. Otherwise, we're going to bring the hand up towards the corner of the room and back down. The opposite goes up in the opposite direction and back down. Okay, let's do as many as we can in 3 breaths. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, deep inhale and full exhale. Now we're going to put those 3 together. So starting down, and this time let's start on the right side. We'll do 1, going to the sides, 1 to each side, and then 1 to each side again, or 1 up, depending on your mobility. Okay, back down, right hand down, left hand down, right hand to the side, left hand to the side, right hand to the ceiling, left hand to the ceiling. We'll do that one more time. Down, down, right hand over, right hand up, left hand up. Great job. From here, step the feet back together. We're going to set the weights aside. You could put them under your chair if you want. They might be in the way on the side, or you can just set them on a table or chair nearby. We're going to be walking the feet over a little bit at a time to the right hand side of our chair. We're moving into some of our warrior poses, which are great for strength. So once you've come over to the right side, place your hand on the back of the chair for support and start to slide that left hip slightly off the chair. Make sure that you still feel stable wherever you decide to be. Now from here, we're going to start to drop that left leg back. So 3 versions of the pose here. You can just slide that foot back slightly, staying here. You can bring it back so that the knee faces down towards the ground and the heel faces up towards the ceiling, or you can extend it all the way back so that the leg straightens. The front leg is going to be really strong, rooting down through the foot. The knee points forward, knee over the ankle. Hands have 3 options. You can keep one on the back of the chair, one on the leg. You can bring one hand up above the head. I guess we have 4 options. You can bring both hands up above the head, or you can bring the hands to heart center. So find the version of the pose that feels good for you, the version where you can be strong, where you can challenge yourself, but where you don't feel like you're causing your body harm. I like to practice ahimsa in yoga. If there's something that is causing pain or harm to your body, it's good to back off. So we'll be here for a little bit. You're welcome to adjust the pose at any time. But if you feel like you can, challenge yourself. Continue to breathe. You're welcome to change the arms at any time. Change the legs at any time. And grab your chair, bring that leg back in. Take a deep breath. And we're going to move into Warrior 2. So for Warrior 2, we're stepping the left leg out to the side. Now we might just open it slightly. We might create an angle, or we might walk it all the way back, keeping the foot flat on the ground and straightening the leg. From here, we'll adjust the arms So you can keep the hands down on the legs. You might bring both hands to heart center, or you might stretch one arm forward and one arm back. If you do that, start to turn the torso out so that it faces the front of the room, opening the hips. You can keep the arms slightly bent here, or you can lengthen them so that the right arm points completely forward. You can look back and the left arm points back. Wherever you are, breathe, knowing you're never stuck in a pose. But it's always fun to challenge yourself. Now, you can stay here for a couple more breaths, or option to drop the left hand down to the leg, turn the right palm up, and start to lift the right palm up overhead, getting a slight bend in the back. This can be a fun pose. It's reversed warrior. If you're doing reversed warrior, start to come out of it. Everybody, let the hands come down wherever you were at. Walk that foot back in. Once you've gotten to the side, walk the feet back to center. Find your mountain pose. Take an inhale and an exhale. And start to walk over to the left side. So on the left side, we'll set up in the same way. We can grab the back of the chair for the support, start to slide the right hip off the chair slightly. Make sure that you have a strong foundation here. And for warrior one, we can start to slide the foot back. You might just do it slightly. You might go a little further where the knee points down and the heel points up. Full version of the pose is to slide the leg back so that it straightens. So pick your version of this pose and then set up the hands, remembering you can stay where you're at with the hands. They can come to heart center. One can hold the chair and one can come up, or both can come up. So find your version of the pose. Being really strong with your legs, remembering to breathe. This may be challenging for you, but it's also strengthening your muscles. Sit up nice and tall. Be a proud warrior. Know you can switch the legs or the arms up at any time if you need to. We're almost done. One more deep breath. Release the arms, release the legs. Great job. Take a breath here. Reset. And move into warrior two. So remember, warrior two is slightly different. We might step the leg out to the side a little bit. We might create an angle, or we might walk the leg all the way back so that the foot is flat on the ground and the knee is straightened. So pick your version of the pose for warrior two. Then you can pick the arms. The hands can stay down on the legs. You can bring hands to heart center. You might be holding on to the chair. You can bring the arms out so that one's forward and one's back. You can bring them so that they're straight. Remember, if the arm is going back, then you want to open the shoulders, open the hips a little bit more for that arm going back. And wherever you are, breathe. While you're in the pose, you might feel yourself being able to stretch a little bit further. Just listen to your body, see what it's capable of. Sometimes we don't need to back off, we need to do more. Okay, option for reversed warrior. For those interested, you drop the right hand down. It can rest on the hip. Turn the left palm up and start to lean back, arching the spine slightly. You might look up. If you're doing reversed warrior, come back out of it. Everyone, release the arms, release the legs, and walk back to center. Great job. Take a reset breath here. Eyes can be opened or closed. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's do 2 more. Inhale through the nose, you might lift the shoulders. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Great job. Okay, moving into our next strength pose. So this is chair pose. I'm going to show you an option to do it standing and then an option to do it while seated. So to do it standing, we're going to bring the feet in so that the toes are aligned with the knees. From here, we're going to hinge forward at the hips. We're bringing all the weight forward so that we're able to stand up. So this isn't recommended if you have any knee injuries or issues, or if standing up causes you pain in your knees. If that's not the case, then let's go into this. I'll give you another option later if you do have knee injuries or pain in your knees. So we'll begin to stand up out of the chair. So we're lifting the hips out of the chair, and then we'll start to lift the torso up. Option to bring the hands forward. So in this pose, we are standing completely. You can even bring the arms a little bit higher, lifting the hands above the shoulders. So a couple options. You're welcome to keep the hands down on the knees. But we want to keep the knees bent, the hips pushing back, and the torso lifting, chest lifting. So this is chair pose. Okay, if you're here, begin to breathe. We're going to hold it for a little while. If that's not working for you, we're going to do the same thing but stay seated. So I want you to lean forward, bringing the knees slightly, aligned with the toes. We're bringing the hips back, chest forward. We're lifting the chest slightly. And now I want you to engage all your muscles. So press into your feet, grounding through the ground, lift through your legs. I want you to engage those muscles and then hold that engagement. So we want to keep the muscles flexed. The muscles are working here. We're engaging the abs. We're engaging the muscles through the torso and the spine. And then breathe. So even from a seated position, you can be very active in this pose. You can engage the same muscles. It just takes a little bit more work because it's very easy to cheat from the chair. So make sure that you are doing the same work if you're sitting down. You're giving your body that benefit of strengthening those muscles. Remember to breathe. See, it's a little harder to talk even though I'm sitting in the chair. Remember to breathe here. You can bring the gaze in front of you slightly. Okay, 1 more breath. And relax and sit back. Okay. Take a moment to find a gaze point or close your eyes and let everything relax. We're going to do this 2 more times now that we know what we're doing. So it's a big effort. Okay, ready? So we're going into chair pose. Stand if you can. If not, make sure to keep that engagement. Check the alignment of the legs. Knees need to be even with the toes or slightly over the toes. We're hinging forward at the hips, bringing the chest forward, but it also lifts up. Option to include the arms, whether you're sitting or standing. Now press into the ground with your feet. Engage all the muscles in the legs. Make sure that they're active. Activate the abs. Activate all those little muscles that connect to your spine and the back. Activate the chest. And remember to breathe here. Find a gaze point slightly in front of you or on the ground. Breathe. Hands can change. You might bring them to heart center. You might lift them up towards the sky, palms facing in. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. And relax. couple breaths here to reset. Give yourself a moment. Okay, ready? One more time. Leaning forward, finding the alignment of your knees. If you're sitting and this is still causing you some pain in the knees, then you can just take a break at this point for this last one. Okay, so rooting down through the feet, engaging the muscles, making sure that all the muscles are active in the calves, in the thighs, activating the rib cage, activating those abs, activating those muscles that support your spine in the back. Making sure that your whole body is activated and working here. You might step the feet back a little bit more if you want to press down into the ground more. The very act of pressing the feet into the ground is going to activate your upper body. Once you've had that activation, you can bring the arms into it. So find the position of your arms, find a gaze point, and breathe. We don't want to lose the breath here. If your arms are lifted above the shoulders, try to drop the shoulders down, not have them up by your ears. Just little tiny details. We're almost done. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. One more breath. And relax. Breathe deeply and fully. Reset your alignment so that it's the mountain pose alignment where you're stacked from your head to your hips and stacked from your knees to your ankles. We're going to start to wind down our practice today. If you have any stretching or any movement that you want to do right now, you might stretch the arm, grabbing the wrist and pulling it to the right side. You might grab the right wrist and pull it to the left side. You might shake out the shoulders. Let's just shake everything out for a minute. Okay, great job. Begin to sit back and relax. I'm going to give you a couple more options for Shavasana. So today, if you want to take a minute to pause the video, go grab yourself a blanket and let's grab some blocks. And I'll show you a couple things you can do in the chair to be more comfortable. Okay, so I've got some blocks and a blanket here for our Shavasana today. You're welcome to use them however you want, and you don't have to have blocks. You could use pillows, you can use books, I guess. There's a lot of different options. But if you want to stack your blocks on your lap, whatever direction feels best for you so that they're stable, but they're high enough that you can relax onto them. We're just going to set them down, and then we're going to set the blanket over the blocks. And we have an option to cross our arms and just set our head down on our arms. If that's not high enough for you, you can set the blocks up again, maybe this way. Just finding a height that feels good, making sure that they're stable on your legs, and then just relaxing onto the blocks. So this is a great version of Shavasana in the chair. So set yourself up for that if that's what you'd like to do today. Another great option is to put the blanket behind you on the chair so that you have something to lean back into that's soft and comfortable. You can put your blocks underneath your feet at whatever height you want so that you can kind of, let's see, just need to be a little further away so that you can lift your feet up and kind of let your legs relax or fall out. So that's a great option. Option to keep the blocks in closer to you and just set the foot fully on top of it, sliding the hips forward and leaning back. Hands can go in the lap or to the sides. Another option for the blanket is to just open it up and cover yourself with it so that you're warm as you do the rest pose. You can even put your arms underneath. So there's an option as well. So find the version of Shavasana with a blanket, with blocks. You could use one or the other. You could do a blanket and pillows. Just find some props that feel good for you. And we're going to take a moment to just relax now after that big practice, after putting so much effort into strength. You're welcome to change your rest pose at any time. Just find a place where you can fully relax. You're also welcome to do your Shavasana in the chair without any props. This first week you'll be learning several ways to do Shavasana. You're also welcome to do Shavasana in the chair with props. There's lots of different ways to do it, so just take what you want and what works best for you and just adapt it. Pick the Shavasana that you feel you want today. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. When you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your body. You can open your eyes, start to sit up straight again. If you have a blanket, you can set it aside. Move back into that mountain pose, nice and tall. Bring the hands to heart center if you choose. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today. We'll see you tomorrow.